Unit 4, Biological Psychology. Presentation 4, Daily Hassles as a Source of Stress.
In this presentation, we'll be looking at the impact of daily hassles as a source of stress. These are the frustrating, irritating experiences that we all have on a daily basis. For the vast majority of us, our real-life stresses are not major life changes such as divorce, redundancy, or the death of a loved one, but the regular, relatively minor annoyances such as missing a bus, arguing with a friend, or not being able to find a parking space.
Daily hassles can have a severe impact on a person's personal and professional life, and can be a contributory factor in the development of stress-related illness. Let's begin by examining why daily hassles might be more stressful than life changes.
Comparing daily hassles and life changes. Psychologists nowadays accept that daily hassles are comparable with, or even greater than, life changes as a source of stress. For example, a 2011 study carried out by Coral Ruffin in Australia investigated the notion that the relatively minor daily stresses we all experience impact more profoundly on health than do the more major life events. After questioning over 200 respondents, she confirmed that daily hassles related more strongly to psychological and physical ill health than did major life events.
Why do you think daily hassles are more stressful than major life changes?
One reason why daily hassles may have a greater negative influence may be because we're less likely to receive social support from others than if we were experiencing significant life changes.
Daily hassles don't get the same reaction from others because each one on its own is relatively minor, even though when we add them all up, they can be just as stressful.
Research on the role of daily hassles as a source of stress. A French study by Evelyn Bouter and colleagues wanted to establish whether daily hassles encountered during students' first year of university study were related to the onset of depressive symptoms. Typical daily hassles faced by students include finding accommodation, managing on a tight budget, and travel problems to and from university.
The sample consisted of 233 first-year psychology students at Toulouse University in France, of which 207 were female and 26 were male. The average age of participants was approximately 20.5 years. These students answered a questionnaire that included a depression scale, a social support questionnaire, and a hassles scale.
Analysis of the responses revealed that 41% of the students reported medically recognised signs of depression. There were no significant differences between male and female students in the presence of depressive symptoms.
Further analysis showed a significant positive relationship between the students' experience of daily hassles and their depressive symptoms. The greater the severity of daily hassles, the greater the level of depression. Hassles that were strongly associated with the development of depression included transport problems, not having enough free time, and physical appearance.
Finally, the researchers found that social support was related to lower levels of depressive symptoms. Students who believed that support was readily available, for example from parents, friends, or the university itself, appeared less vulnerable to the stressful effects of the daily hassles they were experiencing.
Of course, studies like this paint quite a dismal picture of our everyday life, so we should remember that for many people, the negative effects of daily hassles are offset, to some degree, by daily uplifts, those positive experiences that give us a lift during the course of a day, like receiving a compliment or a smile on the bus.
There is a notable study that has investigated the relationship between daily hassles and uplifts. Roxanne Gervais asked 71 male and female nurses to keep a diary over a 1-month period. They were asked to note down any daily hassles, such as problems with work colleagues and continuous interruptions. They were also asked to record any daily uplifts, such as compliments from colleagues or helping a patient to recover. The nurses were finally asked to rate their own performance at work and to note any physical symptoms of strain.
The results showed that nurses felt that the uplifts they experience usually counteracted the negative effects of their daily hassles and helped them to both improve their performance and lower their stress levels.
Before we move on to an evaluation of this area, we'd like to mention one more study that shows how the impact of daily hassles tends to be greater when they accumulate over the course of a day.
Hassles that haven't been dealt with successfully during the day add to the impact of subsequent stressors. Edith Goulian and colleagues asked workers who drove to and from their place of work to maintain a diary over the course of a working week. This contained questions relating to the journey, for example, traffic jams and types of roads, plus questions about current problems at home or work. Drivers were then asked about their feelings before leaving work and when driving home.
The researchers found that participants who had endured a stressful day at work subsequently reported higher levels of stress on their journey home. This supports the claim that daily hassles can change the way that experiences are perceived, so that an event that might be ignored on one day becomes a major source of stress on another.
Evaluation of the role of daily hassles as a source of stress. Questionnaires themselves may constitute a hassle and so bias a study's results. Most of the studies reported here make use of questionnaires of one sort or another to find out about a person's experience of daily hassles and the development of stress-related illness. However, many people find filling out lengthy questionnaires a hassle. Therefore, those who are most stressed may be the least likely to complete the questionnaire. This introduces a sampling bias to the research, because any conclusions drawn are likely to be based on the least stressed participants.
Memory for daily hassles isn't always that accurate. Most research on daily hassles has required participants to assess the impact of hassles experienced over the previous month. As you probably know from your study of memory, the accuracy of memories varies according to the time interval involved. One way to deal with this is to use a diary method, where hassles and feelings of stress are recorded on a daily basis. Current research tends to use this method.
Correlations don't show causal relationships between daily hassles and stress-related illness. This means that we can't assume that experience of daily hassle is a causal factor in the development of stress-related illness. However, even correlational data suggests that daily hassles have the potential to have adverse effects on our physical and psychological well-being. So we do well to take them seriously.
Identifying a link between daily hassles, social support, and stress-related illness offers the potential for effective intervention. In Bouter's study of students making the transition from school to university, the researchers identified social support as a key factor mediating in the relationship between daily hassles and the development of depression. This research established that students who had good social support when faced with overwhelming daily hassles had less chance of becoming depressed. This finding suggests that universities and other institutions where young people must live away from home should offer more extensive social support during this difficult transitional period.
So what can we conclude? Research has clearly shown that the impact of daily hassles is at least as stressful as the relatively less common life changes, partly because they happen more frequently and so are more significant for the majority of people. However, they suffer from the same methodological problems of measurement and a fallible memory, and so we should treat the conclusions with the same degree of caution.